Govinda, Govinda. Govinda, Govinda. Composition of Guru Maharaj when he came to Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and he composed there on the, at the mat, or just before he came into the mat, officially he prepared for this day of the installation of the inauguration. And this is that Sriman Chaitanya Saraswat Math shloka. So I'll read it, and if you do know it or have it, some know it. I think Vishaka knows it off by heart. And I used to know it off by heart, I have to say, but not repeating it regularly, I don't know. I can try, but no, I'll read it. Yes, I can see it clearly from here. All right, it's on the wall in the new ashram here too, printed with a beautiful picture of Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Okay, they're going to read it from, no, I'm reading it from here. Shri, this is for you to read. You can give to somebody with a loud voice. Here you are. You can also read.
Just English?
Sriman Chaitanya, together. 3, 2, 1. Sriman Chaitanya Saraswat Math Urgita Kirti Jaya Shrim Vibrat Sambhati Ganga Tata Nikata Navadipa Koladri Raje Yatrashi Gaura Saraswata Mata Nirata Gaura Gata Grinanti Nityam Rupanuga Shikritamati Guru Gauranga Radha Jitasha. Okay, well done. And there are different translations, but the translations that I have here is the translation from Srila Gurudev's Bengali translation. And he extensively kind of edited this English in the association of our dear Sagar Maharaj at that time. And he was very happy with this translation.
So Gurudev personally edited the English translation?
Yes,
wow.
And I was there, they were going through it. I mean, with Sagar saying, but it should be like this, it should say like this. So the meter, Sagar tried to make the meter, and it kind of runs a little bit. But the substance, Gurudev's always wanting the substance everywhere. And so this was very sweet. And actually after this and making this Gurudev happy, and he said, from now on, we shall use this translation. So it's nice to have it.
I really screwed up.
No, you didn't. Everything is good.
So long.
Yeah. So I'll read the translation. So this is Guru Maharaj's composition. It's Gurudev then made in Bengali, as he does, expanding it and translated into English, and with Gurudev's overview of this and his editing at the end. In the holy abode of transcendental touchstone, Sri Navadip Dham, the self-same Sri Vrindavan, in the land of Koladeep, whose inner identity is the king of mountains, Sri Govardhan, near the charming shores of the holy river Bhagirathi, who delivers all the fallen souls, stands that grand and glorious king of all temples, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. In that beautiful retreat, the surrendered devotees, whose lives are the message of Sri Gaura, are eternally absorbed in the loving service of the Divine Master, the Golden Lord Gauranga, and the loving Lord Sri Govinda Sundar, with his consort Srimati Gandharva, accompanied by all their beloved associates. with hearts always filled with good hope to attain the grace of the Lord, following faithfully in the line of Sri Sri Rupa and Raghunath, the storekeepers of the unlimited treasure of pure, sweet love divine. Those surrendered souls ever sing the unending glories of the transcendental name and qualities of the most magnanimous, original, supreme Lord, Sri Sri Gauranga Sundar. Indeed, the hearts of all Indeed, the hearts of all beings, moving and still, marvel in the glory of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math as they take shelter in the soothing, affectionate shade of the victory flag that flies aloft and sings wholeheartedly to the world the ever-expanding renown of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Bearing that banner of all transcendental benedictions, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math ever shines resplendent in all its divine magnificence. Jai. Jai, composed by Srila B.R. Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, while residing in a hut on the banks of the Ganges in 1941. But he came into Chaitanya Saraswat Math, he moved in, as it were, with Giriraj and declared the Math open on the Jagannath Rath Yatra Day in 1942. Hare Krishna. And somehow that, I can't say sums it up, fully describes the glories of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. But we've heard Guru Maharaj talking about how he came to make his, no, not his own temple, but to establish a temple, specifically considering that it will be the temple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of his teaching. And so Guru Maharaj, he witnessed all the things that took place after Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur disappeared. And on different occasions, and he's talked about that when devotees have asked sometimes in relation to what took place later in the history after Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada disappeared. But Guru Maharaj, he's always pure to the ideal, avoiding the conflict. He tried as he could. He thought, I tried to give some harmony to establish the purity to re-establish the purity of what Srila Saraswati Thakur gave there. But then finally seeing everything, he withdrew. And then presently, as after 4 years after the disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Guru Maharaj, by the grace of Sri Shakti Charan Roy, who we heard from Devashis Prabhu here a couple of days ago, mentioning his glories, then he purchased land for Guru Maharaj in Koladeep. And Guru Maharaj, his whole intention was to make a pure place where only Srila Saraswati Thakur's message will be presented and practiced in the temple. And this composition, this shloka in glorification of Chaitanya Saraswat Math, really is such a powerful verse and gives us the ideal that Guru Maharaj wanted there. And in pursuit of that ideal, Guru Maharaj faced many difficulties. In his time, Gurudev in his time, it is like always difficult to counter the influence of the external world, the material world, in establishing the purity, because so many things come in. But Guru Maharaj, he, despite many challenges, and he clearly establishing Chaitanya Saraswat Math, the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Math, and how much he considered it as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Math was one time when the Western devotees, after the Western devotees have come, the Western devotee, one devotee did something very wrong and kind of mystically, something caught fire. It's a bit of a story, no need for the details. But then a fire in one of the small houses happened, because in the mat there is the main temple, there's Guru Maharaj's quarters, the ashram building there, the kitchen, all in one long building, and then Gurudev's quarters. And earlier there were just the beginning of the Paschatya Seva Bhavan, the Westerners' guest house, but there were the smaller buildings, which Gopal Prabhu remembers, the smaller buildings dotted around the temple, which were the residences of various devotees, on the condition that they will give them to the mat when they leave from the world, which happened. So one of those cottages, then fire came out, and then this is all very alarming, and it mystically came out from something which a devotee was doing wrong. And Guru Maharaj then, of course, got to hear, because there's a fire in the temple and what's happening, this, that, and the other. And when Guru Maharaj heard what had happened, Guru Maharaj was angry. And you know how in anger, people tend to say exactly what they mean. And Guru Maharaj, angry, very angry and strong, saying, this is Srila Saraswati Thakur's temple, and such things are going on here. You know, fully seeing that it's Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's ashram, not that it's his temple at all. And then other instances which are in the history books that maybe Devashis Prabhu would like to share. I won't say all things, but about the temple, entirely Guru Maharaj has made that temple for the continuation of Srila Saraswati Thakur's teaching. But one thing that I'd like to point out, if you like, because today we have a little shorter time, but I'd just like to point out to myself, which I keep always trying to point out to myself, but to everyone, like how inconceivably fortunate that we've kind of fallen out of the boat of the material world and our earlier life of, you know, coming to Krishna consciousness. We've sort of come out of that boat, and really the life raft, the lifeboat, which is the lifeboat to take us to the best place as quickly as possible. This lifeboat of Guru Maharaj, of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, the ideal of Guru Maharaj and of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, this has come, you know, to pick us up. And you know, we could be picked up by many different kinds of lifeboats, as we may say, in the world, and some which are floating, some are sinking, some are going in many directions. But that lifeboat of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math means of Guru Maharaj and of Gurudev, and by automatic understanding of Srila Prabhupada, by this trio, then we've come to this safe journey. So let us not jump off or fall off or get kicked off this lifeboat. So here we are, and we all identify ourselves. Yes, where are you from? Oh, we're from Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Well, we really need to make sure that we are from Chaitanya Saraswat Math in our dealings, in our heart, in our representation. And Chaitanya Saraswat Math of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Guru Maharaj founded, and Gurudev, as Guru Maharaj's right-hand man, then he's expanded the mat as the mat and mission, but also he's the one who gave us access to Guru Maharaj. He's the one who gave us any possibility to stay in the mat also. And he's the one who's given and distributed service, the service to Guru Maharaj. So this is our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. And 80 years on from that beginning, then how much it really, the fame and glory of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Chaitanya Saraswat Math has spread. And Guru Maharaj always wanted somewhere in London. This is the London program. Devotees have joined us from various places, but we can give some like special mention and credit for London, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur himself wanted that there would be a center in London, and himself gave indication to Guru Maharaj to go And Guru Maharaj, that also the history, Guru Maharaj is humbly expressing to Srila Saraswati Thakur that really I don't think I'm the best person to be able to mix with the Westerners, understand their intonation, etc. And Srila Saraswati Thakur considered and then sent others to London. So Guru Maharaj also considered in his later years, he said, my Guru Maharaj, he wanted me to preach to the Westerners. And now it is by his arrangement that you are all coming here. And I think it is his wish that you are coming to hear from me. And Guru Maharaj gave so much energy in those last years of his life, of his manifest pastimes here, we should say. So much energy. And he, as Gurudev told, he gave in English to the Westerners what he did not give to the general Bengali, the general, not only Bengali, the general devotees there, only in a closed circle of the senior Vaishnavas, his senior godbrothers, his close associates, where any of these matters discussed, but very freely he was giving to the Western section. So it is a super wonderful opportunity, and the books that we've got, the recordings that we've got, they are a huge treasure. Don't just leave them on the shelf. Don't just leave those recordings that you've gathered and say, oh yes, I have a hard drive full of recordings. Yeah, great. But we really need to make all these our daily food and be nourished in the association of devotees. So without further ado, to Devashis Prabhu, who is the secretary of the London chapter of Chaitanya Saraswat Math, that Guru Maharaj and Gurudev is so pleased to have. So let Devashis Prabhu say a few words. We have also Vishaka here, and we have also, if you like to say more, Saraswati or Lavanya, that side, then we'll be very happy to hear. But I don't know what time we're meant to finish today because we started quite well into our program. But Devashis Prabhu, I'm not the MC, I'm the guest. Over to the MC, here's Devashis.
Yeah, I'm also a guest here today. But we just had a very nice festival here, and then maybe Vishaka Devi would like to speak a little bit more about that. And this was to inaugurate this new ashram, new center in Hungary, and Vishaka Devi chose this day, the Ratha Yatra day, as that is the same day that Srila Guru Maharaj began Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math officially, and as Maharaj said, 80 years ago on that very day. So we had that. It was a very nice festival. So many devotees came, and a really auspicious and good beginning. And I just remembered, I just found Srila Govinda Maharaj recalling about that time from the book Golden Reflections. And I'm just going to read a short excerpt from that, and then I'll pass the mic over to Vishaka Devi. So it says, and we've already read the verse and the quote of that verse, but it says, the Gaudiya Math was founded by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and later Jajva Maharaj and other godbrothers of Srila Guru Maharaj incorporated the word Gaudiya into the name of their missions, Shyamananda Gaudiya Math, Devananda Gaudiya Math, and so on. But Srila Guru Maharaj thought in another way. Our Sampradaya was actually started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is running under his divine direction. Although we are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, the real conception of Raganuga Bhakti was first shown by Madhavendra Puri, the grand guru of Sri Chaitanya Devi. There, the conception was in seed form, but it manifests in the form of a tree in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, bearing in mind the main identification of our Sampradaya, Srila Guru Maharaj included the name of Sri Chaitanya in the name of his mott. The name of Srila Guru Maharaj's Guru is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Therefore, to cover from beginning to end the identification of the whole Sampradaya, Srila Guru Maharaj used the name Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math as the name of his temple and mission. Srila Guru Maharaj personally chose and purchased a very long, strong and costly bamboo pole from one Narayan Ghosh, who owned a large bamboo garden. On the very first day of his stay, he hoisted a flag on that tall bamboo flagpole on the spot where the temple now stands. When Srila Guru Maharaj entered, his deity was Giridhariju, who he bought from Vrindavan. He used that place for a number of reasons. He chose that place for a number of reasons. One reason was that it is Aparada Banjanpat, Koladweep, the place where all offenses of those who surrender are vanquished. Another reason for establishing his mot here was that, as well as being Aparada Banjanpat, this is Giriraj Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan, the hidden Govardhan hill. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada preached over the whole of India, and he also tried to preach all over the world, but still he was not able to preach successfully in the area of Koladweep. Here there were many great pundits who heavily opposed Srila Prabhupada and his preaching program. Therefore, Srila Guru Maharaj wanted to convert that section. He started to preach to that party headed by Tripatanath Pandit. He was the head of the area of Tegariapa. Also, there was another big pundit, famous throughout India. His name was Gopendu Shankatirtha. Srila Guru Maharaj started to preach in the house of his aunt, Saroja Vasini Devi. She was a very popular lady, and her name is also included on a plaque on the side of Mahaprabhu's temple here. She was very famous and everyone respected her. When Srila Guru Maharaj started preaching in her house, many of the members of that opposing group also came to hear, and they were converted by Guru Maharaj. After Guru Maharaj first came here, some of his godbrothers joined him, showing themselves to be unconditionally surrendered. Presently also other godbrothers joined with Srila Guru Maharaj, and these brahmacharis joined at least a few months after Srila Guru Maharaj's first coming here to Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Guru Maharaj's nature was always to compose something, and he composed many shlokas. And when he started Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, he immediately composed the following shloka, which is that shloka that Maharaj read, Srimad Chaitanya Saraswata. And the translation. Then he said, and one day his godbrother Shaki Babu, after hearing this verse, told his other godbrothers, "Oh, Srila Guru Maharaj has nothing except a thatched house, but he has erected a very long bamboo pole with a flag on top, and then he composed this grand shloka." But Srila Guru Maharaj said to him, "You will see in the future what will be." And later, he has come to see what is manifest, as have we all. So there's more, but I'll stop there. So maybe we can pass over to Vishaka Devi, and she can say a few words.
Well, because of complications. But if you like, you can sit here. You can sit here, and then I put this down. Oh, okay. All right, we're just lining up our next guest. And in the meantime, you met everybody here, but in the meantime, Anandavardhan Prabhu came, and here, one of the local devotees that we've known many years, and from, where, are you on the picture? I can't see. Oh, yes. There you are. You're in the picture. It's so small on the screen. And we know him from Navadip, from India. And I don't know when you came, but the old devotee of Chaitanya Saraswat Math. So we're very happy to welcome him too. All right, so here is Vishaka Devi. Don't speak like a mouse. Speak loud.
What is this here? Is Sri Govinda Ashram?
It's this one when it's pointing at the deities. It's you and this.
Oh, okay. You put the name of the ashram. I was thinking it was another ashram.
Stolen the name.
Stole the name.
Well, Dandavat pranams to all of our dear friends around the world. I'll just say a few words. Firstly, we're so grateful to have Maharaj and Devashis Prabhu giving some substance to our gathering here. We've had a beautiful festival. We have a beautiful group here, international group. Some thoughts that came to my mind when I was listening to our senior Vaishnavas, that there is great value simply in being able to continue with what our gurus have begun, in maintaining. Actually, there was one famous incident amongst the Hungarian devotees. A big group of them visited Italy one year and visited our Gurudev when he was there, and they came to him one day and asked for one of the devotees in particular asked for some special instruction for the Hungarian devotees, and Srila Gurudev said, just maintain. Just maintain. And they were disappointed. They wanted some special instruction to do this and to do that, and so they were a little disappointed. But then the devotees told me, over the following years, they began to realize it's not so easy, just to maintain and to remain steady in Krishna consciousness with what we have. And so they reflected back on Gurudev's instruction with renewed appreciation. There, in the Upadeshamrita, in the 6 favorable qualities, one of the things that is mentioned is satoverte, to follow the activities of the sadhus, to follow sometimes it's translated to follow in the footsteps of the acharyas. And Gurudev, he mentioned this point once, like, we don't need to create something new, we don't need to make something new. Sometimes there's this idea, something new and flashy and exciting, but we can just maintain, what our gurus gave, continue with that. And there was one article Devashis Prabhu wrote, actually, I don't know if you remember it, but it was and you had a darshan with Gurudev, and this was in SoCal, California, when our Gurudev was there one year. And Gurudev was expressing how, he said, I'm always thinking of 3 things. What is the tune of Srila Guru Maharaj? What is the tune of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? What is the tune of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada? And I'm trying to, I don't remember the exact words he used. Do you remember that?
No, not at all.
It's an article you wrote. And it's wonderful, but I never heard Gurudev express something quite like that. Right? And so he said, I'm always thinking of these 3 things, like, what was their tune of my gurus, these 3 gurus? And I'm trying to also keep in, I can't remember the exact word he used, but I'm trying to keep in sync. I'm trying to keep my tune in the same, wave as theirs. He said, and then he's saying, I cannot, but I'm always trying. Like, is my rhythm, the same as theirs, like along these lines. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he expressed a similar sentiment. There was one occasion where he was speaking about how some new things some of his godbrothers were doing after Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had left the world for preaching purposes. Sometimes for preaching, we may do things in some jazzy kind of way, right, to attract people. And Srila Maharaj was saying, some of my godbrothers there, they were saying now they are free, right? Like, our guru is not, if our guru was here, he wouldn't tolerate these things, He was saying now they are free, they can do as they like. He said, but I am not, I am not free to do so. What I heard from my guru, I'm still continuing with that. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj was so strict about that he went so far on one occasion to throw one of his beloved godbrothers out of his temple, because we won't tell the full story now. I think most of you know the story anyway. But because his godbrother was not sticking to the line of Saraswati Thakur, so Srila Sridhar Maharaj actually had to tell, with pain in his heart, he had to request his own godbrother, please leave my temple, because I have to represent something here. So how much he kept that, took that to heart, how important. And also, I also remembered a similar expression of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada that struck me very much, where he said, what I heard 30 years ago, I'm doing the same thing. I'm still doing that, day by day, I'm still doing the same thing. So, at this time, marking the 80th anniversary of the founding of this glorious mission, we are reflecting very much, what is the conception of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, what distinguishes Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math from so many other missions of Krishna consciousness. What did our Gurudev give us specifically? What particular tune? Maybe more or less the same information, but some different mood, some different point of emphasis, some slightly different tune, different harmony, different melody. What is that? And how can we follow that? Otherwise, we can be in any other place, and we can, chant Hare Krishna, and we can cook and do puja, right? We can do that in so many places and so many missions, but why are we here? And how can we be true aspiring members of this mission? And, let us continue trying to stick to that day by day. We want to, in a serious, sober, and careful way, try to understand these things and follow as perfectly as we can. That's all I have to say. Thank you for the opportunity.
Jai Vishaha Devi Rasi ki jai, and Jai Sri Devashis Prabhu ki jai. And in the meantime, yes, Saraswati Devi, I know you've got something to contribute to.
No, Maharaj, I'm so happy to hear from you all. Very happy. And really, it's amazing the service that Kanu Priya Devi has done. She was determined to get that center, and she did it. It's her devotion to Srila Gurudev and the mission. She really wants to do that for all the devotees there in Hungary and get them together in service. So that's a wonderful opportunity for service, to have a place where everyone can come and serve. It's wonderful.
And today, this afternoon, then Vishaka, she has on her computer, or it's on the web maybe, a fairly recent posting that Chinmoy Dev made. He prepared a video of Srila Gurudev in Italy in 1999. And there, and young Ananta Krishna, well, we were all young at one time. Oh, sorry, Ananta Krishna. I mean, I'm thinking of myself. No, young Ananta Krishna. And he is still young, by the way. He was here. She showed him that video, and we were watching, and where he is expressing how he wants, who was expressing? Ananta Krishna. Ananta Krishna was expressing how he wanted to make an ashram here in Budapest. And Guru Maharaj, he's talking with Guru Maharaj. And then Ananta Krishna was here today, and he is young at heart and very lively. If you haven't met him for a few years, he's the same Ananta Krishna, like full of energy and doing so many things. And he's here for the afternoon. And he was watching that video, and it's like, oh, now this has manifest what we wanted. It has come. And how it's come through Kanu Priya Devi Rasi, and with the help of the devotees, no doubt, but she's very much the catalyst. And this now, and we're quite close to the center of Budapest. We're in the city, but it's an island, and so it's very quiet. You can't even guess we're in a city. We're on an island here. I mean, with other buildings and everything, but it's very sweet. And just want to say that what a wonderful 80th anniversary gift for Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. the 80th anniversary of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, that this is the birthday of the Srila Govinda, the Sri Govinda Ashram, or following in the line of understanding the nature of a place from its name, the Sri Saraswati Sridhar Govinda Seva Kunj. Sri Saraswati Sridhar Govinda Seva Kunj. And Vishaka explained that this is with the reflecting on the name given by Gurudev to the ashram building in Vrindavan, at our Vrindavan Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math mission. And there, that ashram building's name is Sri Rupa Sridhar, Sri Rupa Saraswati Sridhar Seva Kunj, right? Sri Rupa Saraswati Sridhar Seva Kunj. Like very very definitive, very clearly defining the line. And so here, this Sri Saraswati Sridhar Govinda Seva Kunj. It could have included Rupa as well, but probably is a limit to how long a name should be. So this way, or even Chaitanya. No, anyway, Sri Rupa. Anyhow, this way, this is the internal name, and the external name, easy for everybody, is Sri Govinda Ashram. And really, there were devotees from all over who came, and Prita Krishna's two sons, who are now 20 years and 23 years old, organic farmers from Serbia. Then they came, and from here and there and various places. And so, I mean, really a wonderful festival like Navadip, with the devotees coming together. So here we are. And so we're happy to be able to share the 80th anniversary of the mat and the birth of this ashram here, to share this with you all, and all of you. If you were here, you're with the family, and if they will know each of you who are here with the same, they'll immediately meet you and know, oh, I feel like I've known you forever. You're part of the family, and this is the family, and lots of devotees in Hungary.
Maharaj, could you tell us a little bit about the property?
Oh yes, or maybe Kanu Priya, you'd like to say.
Tell us about the house. How many rooms? How big is it?
But come close with your chant. If you can. Oh.
You were in that video too. You were there in 1999? Yeah, Nanda Varta was there too. I thought I saw it there.
Yeah, Vishaka just mentioning, she's a little far from the microphone, but mentioning Anandavardhan Prabhu, he was also there with Gurudev and with Ananta Krishna, and actually quite a lot of others on the video. I mean, lots of devotees there. Anandavardhan Prabhu is a personal witness to it all. All right. So yes, Kanu Priya, something about the property, something.
Yeah. It's a big house for me, because we have got, fortunately, a very beautiful big temple room. It's 35 square meters big. So I love it very much. And there are very good, spacious, big downstairs. We have 2 bedrooms downstairs, plus a bathroom. And upstairs we have 2 bedrooms with a bathroom and a toilet, different. And we have, fortunately, a big garage, and because we think that we can use it for living too, because it's together with the house, exactly. So I love it very much. And I'm very happy with it. Only one thing I don't like, I have to admit you, that the land is not big, smaller than desk, if you remember Saraswati. So that's smaller, and our neighbors are closer. But I hope that we will be able to buy some land from the neighbors. So it will be bigger, not so much bigger, but a little bit bigger. So that's, and it's a home, exactly. I feel that it is Gurudev's home and devotees' home who would like to serve Gurudev and Krishna. So that's, and I will be very happy if you come, because I have many beautiful memories in Hungary and in Desk and in London and other devotees. I will be very, very happy if you visit me. So try to find out the time, exact time, and I'm waiting for you very, very much. So, and the location is good, I think, as Maharaj told us that it's very peaceful, and we have got very good neighbors. Imagine one of my neighbor cut the grass in the garden without asking her. She offered me. She saw that I have got problem with my hip, and I was very engaged. And she told me that, oh, I do it instead of you. And she helped me the Sankirtan route because I live here only for 3 months. So I don't know this place exactly well. And it was very, very nice, very, very good. So amazing. People around us, very, very, very helpful and good. So that's all.
Yeah, we went out on Sankirtan the day before yesterday, and maybe Nama Priyadidi would like to share with you the neighbors' reactions, I mean, in the local area, because really it was an extraordinary, it's a very happy Sankirtan. So here's Nama Priya, she was on the Sankirtan, and so many of us, obviously many devotees have left. We were a bigger group just even a day ago.
Dandavas to all the devotees. I'm very happy to be with you here today. Like Maharaj said, that this Sankirtan was really, really special. It was our first one here, and we didn't meet maybe a lot of people, but the people we met, they were practically 100% super like attracted to the holy name, to our energy, to what came through us, and like usually in Europe, people first they are just like looking like this at you, then you start waving at them, and they're so super excited that you noticed them, that you looked at them, that you saw them, and that you gave them some smile, and that they can hear the transcendental vibrations. So it was very, very happy Harinam, very happy Harinam.
Jai.
So, yeah.
It was indeed. Okay, so dear devotees, all of you who joined us from Brazil and all over, and Lavanya Mayi, Vijay Krishna, very happy to have you with us. You joined us too, and Shyama Malini joined us, Devananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
And Sri Govinda Ashram, there you are. That's the name of the ashram here, and that's looking at the altar, and this is looking at Devashis Prabhu. So you know it's real. Hare Krishna. And this on the other side. All right. So I think it's time for us to chant Hari Harai Nama Krishna. We ran over time. Oh, Bhagavan Prabhu is here with us too. Bhagavan Prabhu Dandavat joined us in the meantime. It's time for us to chant Hare Krishna, and we're a few minutes late, but we started a few minutes late out of different circumstances. And so we'll chant here, Hare Harai Nama Krishna. You can join at home if you like, or you can go home if you like, as you wish. But maybe we'll do the Jais first, in case you go home first. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Santa Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockhoff, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. And Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundarju ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math ki Jai. And Jai Sri Chaitanya Sri Govinda Ashram ki Jai. Or Sri Saraswati Sridhar Govinda Seva Kunja ki Jai. And Jai all the assembled devotees ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Vishwaranya Shri Asi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. All the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Devashis Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Vishaka Devi Dasi ki Jai. And to all of the devotees present and online ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
And who will lead first? Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. So, yes, Ananda Bhadrabu, would you like to lead? Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yes, page 60 in the yellow songbook. All right. So please stay with us if you're happy to do so. And let's see if I can put the camera. Yes, turn on all the lights. I'll put the camera to show all the people as far as possible. Hari Harai Nam Krishna. 60. Yeah, 60. You happy to do so? Yes, okay. Over to you.
Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Makani Raman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Padma Puriya. Hari Ram Sankirtan Kore Bhagavatam Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So we already chanted our jais. We're going to say a few more, but I think to all the devotees with us here, let's give our obeisances to and complete for today. So Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj, Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, 80th years of the flag flying high, and Jai the Sri Govinda Ashram, the anniversary, and the London coming up, 8th anniversary coming up. So to all of the devotees, Jai Jai Jai, Dandavata. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Jai Kanu Priya Didi ki jai.
Jai, yes. And all the assembled Vaishnavas, ki jai.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare